Good evening or morning, depending on where you are, everybody. I know we get viewers from all over the world. My name's Todd Standing, and I'm going to be discussing topics of Bigfoot. I'm very happy to be back. I know I've been gone for a while. I've been out doing what I was supposed to be doing, looking to get new evidence regarding Sasquatch. Just give me a second here. I'd like to start seeing who's online. Where do we get the... Oops, I'm getting in front of the camera here. There we go. I see people popping up now. I see I'm having a little bit of trouble, but what else is new? I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to speak on YouTube. I'm very grateful for this platform, although it's very difficult and often flawed. Hey, Mike. Hey, Lindsay. So, for those of you who've turned in early or come in early, I'm doing my show earlier than normal, mostly because last week or the last couple of weeks they've had some new child thing. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody from the United States. And it's been very difficult. I don't know, they've had glitches in it since that new little idiosyncrasy, I'll call it. But, oh, and the beard's back, right. Thanks for noticing that, Brandon. Yes, the beard is back for now. The beard had to come back because I've been out. I've been out, let's say that. So, good news is, for all of you that are tuned in right now, there's definitely new Sasquatch footage. My cameras are all messed up. What happened with it was totally crazy, and I probably shouldn't be talking about it. My distributor would lose his mind, but yeah, it was absolutely crazy this year, and basically I got footage and I left my cameras behind and I had to go back and get them. So I should not be telling you guys this. But yeah, I should because you guys are awesome fans, and it's spectacular and fantastic that you guys tune in. You guys, discovering Bigfoot 2 is going to be good. I wish I'd been able to do more. I always want more. And I thought that about the first Discovering Bigfoot. And remember, too, the first Discovering Bigfoot, I put everything I had into that, guys. Like, I'd started doing this research way back in 2006, and I finished Discovering Bigfoot in 2017, and I had years of blood, sweat, and tears to put into that movie. And I was, I was funded. I had more money at the time, which is why I was funded, and I just had a lot more going on. Things have been tough, and what's changed this year, I'll tell you. I'll start answering questions in just a second. What's changed is the expeditioners are paying for the movie. Expeditioners that come out with me, it's because of them I'm doing research. If it wasn't for the expeditioners, well, and it's mostly expeditioners. They're paying for about, I'd say, a good 70%. I wouldn't be a full-time Sasquatch researcher if I wasn't taking expeditioners out. So I get good money from donations, and my YouTube channel's dumped because I haven't been doing weekly videos. And it was a decent little bit of amount of income. I was making about $1,000 a month with my YouTube channel, which, considering you guys should know, I was getting millions of minutes watched a month. I was doing like small network numbers. Those we have little TV stations and networks. They don't get the numbers and the viewership that I get. And considering those little networks do, they have, let's say the whole network's worth at least hundreds of thousands of dollars in, and more than that, easily upper six figures for a small network just to function. And it's just me, and I was beating them. I was getting bigger numbers than them, and it's laughable to think that I was getting $1,000 a month for that from YouTube. But whatever. YouTube is a great platform. It's because of YouTube I get my expeditioners. I have one stat for you guys. Although, first I'd like to start this stat out by saying there was an expedition this year that we got badly rained out. We didn't have any good success on it. I had an expedition on my own that was really fruitless, and we had some hard, tough days. But you want to hear what's crazy? My stats are this year 43% of people that came out on expedition with me actually eyewitnessed a Sasquatch. So those are crazy numbers. And you have to remember, when you're out boots on the ground with me in the field and you see a Sasquatch, we go look. We go see the tracks. We go where the Sasquatch was. There's no limits to what we do. And when you see a Sasquatch, then you go over there and you see Sasquatch tracks and you see the breaks, and you hear and you smell and you feel everything that happened. It's pretty amazing. And that's what all the there's a couple expeditioners that were like one gentleman in particular, it was his second year out, and he saw a Sasquatch the first year. It was like, a couple dark figures, and you go over there and there's two tracks. He saw a dark figure that had, anyways, he's had another sighting that was, a dark figure moving through the wilderness, and it was substantiated by other people and other evidence, and he was disappointed. I'm trying to explain to him, because there have been better sightings. He knows another expeditioner who had a brilliant, amazing, spectacular sighting. A couple of them actually, again substantiated by other evidence, but he wanted that. I'm trying to explain to him, though, there are people like John John Burns, or no, Peter Burns and John Green and Rene DeHinden. These men, each of them did more than 40 years each. Like, if you just take those people, Peter Burns, John Green, and Rene DeHinden, and you just say each of them did only 40 years, so cumulatively 120 years of Sasquatch research, and they never got what he got in his week out with me. And then the second week out with me, a different year, he got better than they ever got. So, it's pretty exciting. So, anyways, I'll start answering some questions, but yeah, the stories, uh, I don't like to call them stories, the events that have happened in the past couple of years with Sasquatch and Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 are pretty significant, pretty exceptional, pretty amazing. I'm very pleased. My footage has not gone to another level like I was really hoping for, and I got the beard now, and I'm Iceman trained, and I'm ready to take on some brutal, horrible, kick-ass cold, because I still want to do some more expeditions. I want to get out there and fight some more, and I think maybe I can get a little more, but it's hard in the winter. The Sasquatch mostly disappear in the winter, but anyways, I still have a couple plans, and yeah, so I'm gonna get back out there. I think, anyways. I'm fighting for this, guys. I'm fighting for this, and thanks to your support, thanks to the donators, you guys that watch my YouTube videos, share my YouTube videos, watch the darn commercial. I get paid more for that. Tell people about it. Use the movie Discovering Bigfoot to tell people. If you want to come on an expedition, that's fantastic. You got to do that, because we have wonderful, amazing expeditions that are much, even they're safer, and we stay in a trailer now. We have electric bikes, we have better cameras, better equipment, so things are going really good. But anyways, thank you so much for all the support, and let's get into some questions here before I give the whole every single event, and you guys don't even want to watch Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 because I told you everything about it. But the events are crazy. I'm injured. My knee got worse. Anyways, it just lots of great things happened this year, and I'm really super pleased about the events that transpired, and things are at a new level. But anyway, so I saw some good questions here. I don't see it now because everything's a mess. But someone put the question: do Sasquatch eat plants, and even, probably, I'll say more specifically, berries that are poisonous to us? And the answer to that is, I don't know for sure poisonous, but I'll tell you, the scat that I took to Survivor Man, before Survivor Man started working with me, the scat that I took to Survivor Man had plants in it that I you should not be eating. So certainly I would say they're eating stuff that is not digestible to human beings, absolutely, most assuredly. So, but poisonous, I didn't identify. Actually, I did see some soap berries. They're white berries, and they're not good for people, for sure. So actually, I guess the answer is yeah, I guess they do, now that I think about it, because I definitely remember seeing a white soapberry that was crushed into that. And soapberries aren't good for us. So in the books, and the pros will tell you that you could eat them in small quantities, but if you eat them in large quantities, they're damaging to you. So I don't eat shit that like that. If it's not good food for me, if it's not nutritional, I'm not eating it. I don't eat mushrooms because they take up space in your stomach, and they don't really give any nutrients. They have no caloric value. So I tell people, and mushrooms are so freaking poisonous and deadly, and so many different kinds of species. It's such a husbandry to learn them. So I don't eat mushrooms, but yeah, they're definitely eating some stuff that they can eat. So thanks, Patty, for that question. Elizabeth says, "What do you think Sasquatches eat?" on Turkey Day. You know, right now, and not just kidding, Elizabeth. Right now, they're what's going on here? Sorry about that. So, yeah, with the weather being as it is, oh my goodness, what's going on here? With the weather being as it is, they're just gonna eat. They're eating meat right now, I would think. I'm sure they're great gatherers and whatnot, but yeah, it's gonna be meatsicles and stuff. So let me see if I can. Gosh, I'm just having a little bit of trouble. It's just stupid little technical stuff with YouTube. Hi, hey Amanda, thanks for tuning in. I see Amanda's on there answering lots of questions. When you guys talk to Amanda, I'm not visible right now. What's going on? Are we visible or not? Come on, YouTube. What are you doing to me here? So, um, thanks. I'll just say that the Fraz, he says you're awesome. Thank you. I don't feel awesome. I feel beaten down and abused right now. Oh, there we are. I'm back. I saw a good question there a second ago. Hello from. Okay, so yeah, I just want to say I absolutely love Washington. I'm trying to see if I can improve the signal a little bit here. It's ridiculous that it's cutting out like that. But anyhow, man, Washington is such gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love going back there. I did an expedition there, as many of you know, I'm sure. I love Washington State so much. What a gorgeous, beautiful. It's so familiar to me because I just live north of it, you know, in Alberta and British Columbia, where I've been born and raised. You know, it's just such beautiful, wonderful habitat. So, when is Discovering Bigfoot coming on Netflix? Discovering Bigfoot Part One is on Netflix. And as I was saying, if you guys hear something from Amanda, you're Amanda and Phil and Atar and Danielle, who are all on here. If you hear it from them, you're hearing it from me. Those are colleagues that are kind of almost like, you know, just real close friends. So, anyways, I just wanted to say that about the people that are helping, and I could use more help. We all need more help, and I right now I'm working so hard. Oh my God, I saw some still cam Sasquatch photographs that I'll be giving to Amanda to look at that are not mine, but some very interesting stuff. So I'm probably going to start doing Saturday. Come on, YouTube. Holy crap. Anyway, Steven, if you guys can hear me, I don't know why it's frozen up. I can't believe all the trouble I'm having right now. It's ridiculous. Earlier this year, I left the clan I know pieces of fool's gold. They left me a hickory shell. Last time I went up, I left them a small dream catcher. I had to see what they left me next time I go up. Well, that's really cool. Hopefully you guys can hear me right now. Yeah, so I was just Stephen Stokacax. I can't pronounce. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be. That's disrespectful. Stephen SK. I'm not trying to pronounce. Left me a hickory shell. That's really cool. If you're really getting that kind of stuff going on, that's amazing. You should be sending your stuff to the email that I'm sure Amanda will put up here in a minute. So, anyways, Cappy McCappy, how's it going? Surely there are ticks in your area, I think. My God, are we frozen again? Jesus Christ, YouTube. Holy crap. What is going on here? Wow. Apparently we're still rolling. My goodness. What the hell? Don't mean to complain, but my God, get it together. I have an excellent signal here. Anyways, home for the holidays, says Higgin and Mummin. I wish people would make their names a little easier. Todd Standing, Chia Pet, look. Todd Standing, the Chia Pet. Yeah. Well, thank you, I think. Yeah, it grew back pretty fast. So the Sasquatch definitely do not hibernate. Even its bears don't even hibernate. Truly, they're not really true hibernators. There are very few species that are true hibernators. But I'm extremely convinced, like 95% that actually 98% convinced that Sasquatch do not hibernate. I'll tell you because I found. Let's go into this. This is really cool stuff. I've never talked about this before, and I probably should have. When I filmed video six, that's in the snow. Somebody was talking to me about that this week. I knew I had a good idea of the cave system they were staying in at that time. And what I found out too, and the reason I discovered this approximation of the cave system they're staying in is because there was a trail to the water source. So even though they're staying in caves, they require water source. And so there was a path, and this path is worn down very dramatically. I'm assuming you guys can hear me because everything looks frozen again. And on a path that's worn down by Sasquatch in the winter, it's you can't see tracks on it because it's just like a smooth path, hundreds of footsteps going back and forth regularly for water. And I'm sorry guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this show today because this YouTube is just crapping the bed here so badly. Somebody asking about an anticipated release date, Lindsay. I have abs, months from now. Oh, we're back. So sorry about these stupid little breaks, guys. I promise you, I honestly, like, I take this show so seriously. I really want to do a great show. Please be patient. YouTube is terrible. YouTube sucks. I mean, it's pathetic how bad this stuff is. It's totally pathetic. I've downloaded software and I've done everything. I've worked so bloody hard because you guys are so important to me with this show. And it's like, YouTube doesn't even they don't even have software. You have to get software, and that doesn't work. And then they put crap on my computer, and it wrecked my computer from the sec. Of course, you get anything. There's nothing for free. You think get something for free on the internet, you don't. So it was free software. I downloaded it, and it wrecked my computer. So and if I use it on my phone here, my phone works great everywhere. I use Skype, everything. WhatsApp. I do tons of video things. I do Facebook Messenger. It all works perfect. I go to YouTube. The power is YouTube. The monstrosity that's YouTube, and it just dicks me around like this. And I know it's frustrating. So please be patient because that was my little rant about that. Because you guys are so awesome. These questions are so amazing. So why would they eat something? Why would they eat something they can't eat? I don't really understand that. What I was saying was they would eat something. Animals eat mushrooms, and mushrooms have no nutritional value. So are they hybrids? Nephilim? No, I don't do any of that. They're primates. They're just real living. I really come remember I worked with the late great John Benernagel, Jeff Meldrum, Ian Redmond, who's one of the top primatologists in the world. These are my colleagues, even Survivor Man. These people are built on the scientific process. So it's not about angels, it's not about Nephilim, it's not about the Bible. We don't do that stuff. This is not, I make no apologies for it. If you have those ideas and stuff, fantastic. That's yours. It's not mine. It's not Ian Redmond. It's not Jeff Meldrum. It's not John Benernagel. It's not Les Stroud. The list goes on and on with the people I work with. For God's sake, Wim Hof, the Iceman. I've been talking to him. He wants to come out and do some stuff with me. But again, he's science. He's science based. Universities are doing tests on Wim Hof's ability to survive in the cold and to withstand illnesses and whatnot. And we're really, science is a profound part of what I do. So yeah, we're very, very, very science based. However, the greatest trackers that have ever lived use other means to track. They use extrasensory perception. They use energy, and there is definitively. I talk about it in my videos, the art of Sasquatch, and it's kind of when you go beyond science and you're feeling and showing love and passion, and that's right now science doesn't have a hold of on those things so significantly. I talk about the movie Third Eye Blind and the work that Princeton's done on remote viewing. It's very important stuff. It's very real, and it's part of what I do now. So, hey Todd, just joined the live chat. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving in Canada was a couple weeks ago already, so we've already done our Thanksgiving. Where's all the Bigfoot poop at? The Bigfoot poop. I haven't had Bigfoot poop since I started working with Survivor Man. I haven't got a good scat sample since about 2014. So, and when I had it, and there's a whole stuff happened. But anyways, I don't like being that guy. So that was my 2013. I had excellent scat. I had DNA. I had hair samples that I had gathered over nearly a decade's worth of work, and that was the last break-in that I had, where Just my stuff got stolen. But anyways, Todd's California. Yes, Amanda's talking about some cool stuff. We can hear you through the image is frozen. Yeah, I think I got that. I see a clicker still counting. So as long as that clicker's counting, I'll try not to get upset. I'm passionate about things, guys. I get ticked off when my technology doesn't work because I really want to talk to you guys, you know? And like Cameron saying, the beard came back quickly. It didn't. I haven't been around. I've been out, not anywhere's. It's just been out. I try not to talk about where I am or what I'm doing. You guys will understand why that is. I'm being a little secret about stuff when I have to because yeah, I got lots of stuff going on. So do Sasquatch ever try to communicate with humans, or are they just afraid of us at all times? Well, Jeanette, every Sasquatch is a different individual. And that's, I mean, if anybody's going to see a Sasquatch or have one come around, it's no different than people. Some people are xenomorphs, some people are quiet, some people are outgoing and curious. So even dogs are like that, and more so with an intelligent species. So you can't say Sasquatch are like this. You can't actually, you can say, I mean, they've never definitively come out and shown themselves to anybody who's filmed them, right? So I think there have been situations where human beings that are really paradigm free and clean and don't really give a crap and just have a love for nature. I'm very convinced that the Sasquatch have come out and shown themselves to people and communicated with people and done pretty incredible things. But they haven't done that to a person with a camera who was willing to show that to the world. So I'll say that. And you know, maybe that's a problem with me is I do have that pressure to get footage. I do have that pressure to show the world. And maybe that's why I'm lacking, you know? Maybe it should just be about me and them, but I can't because I can't do this alone. I need Amanda and I need Phil and all the support from people. I need the donations. I need you guys to watch my YouTube videos and share them and get the word out because I'm not able to do this alone. The research is hard and you guys, I mean, I'm not, I've spent everything. My documentary Discovering Bigfoot, boy, that was a $400,000 loss. You know, like it's cost me money to put that out there. So I say it's just a tool to help get the word out, to help move this discovery forward. So I paid, and myself and my colleagues and my friends who all were involved in it paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to make that happen. And I'm very proud of that work, but it's not profitable. So I know like Finding Bigfoot made money and you know there are lots of Bigfoot shows that make money, but that's not me. This has been a huge loss. Hello from Ohio. How's it going? I've often wondered if Sasquatch use fats or emulsients on their facial parts and their hands to keep skin supple. I'm asking because you may have heard in cold months with skin cracking. Yeah, yeah, Patty. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I absolutely do not know on that one. You know, when I see their faces, like they have fatty deposits, and somebody did a pixelization of my video for female Sasquatch that was done, and that means they were able to deduce heat signature based on that digital piece of footage because it was direct sunlight. And the people there told me there were enormous fatty deposits on her face, like really thick fatty deposits, even not too different than like the Inuit people that live in the north of Alaska and Canada, right? They have really round faces and significant. I mean, you can just see it in the phenotype. They have rounder faces with thicker fatty deposits. And do they put oils and stuff on their face? And maybe they do. I don't know, but I have nothing to say that. Todd, do Sasquatch have recent scene resemble Jake? Yes, yes. The sagittal head. Yeah, I mean they all. I see similarities between all of the individuals that I see. Jake was just. I haven't seen Jake, which sucks, but yeah, no signs of him actually. Which again, I talked about that last year. Very, very disappointing. But yeah, I haven't seen Jake at all. I just assume he's gone now. So that would have been awesome, you know. And that's probably why my research went back. You guys got to understand the reality of this. I built a relationship with Jake, and even a couple other Sasquatch. I don't think they're around anymore. I think they're gone. They're just males that grew up, and those were those are my boys. If they ever came back around, you know, things would change, but now I have to build new relationships. And that's just the nature of the beast. I had to go away for years. I couldn't do the research for years. And, you know, it sucks. It really sucks. Where did you know, but it's actually, it almost hurts my feelings. I feel really sad that that was the case, that he was coming around, he trusted me, took care of me, saved my life at least once that I know of. And he's gone, you know, and I built that wonderful relationship with him, and it sucks. So, Mayan from Pegas, Manitoba, Canada. Hello. So, have you ever seen Sasquatch jump? Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, like moving. It's not like they stood in one spot, went boing, but I've seen them like run and jump. And one of the most profound things I ever saw, it was almost like a nightmare, where because this huge Sasquatch was running through the trees. I couldn't hardly hear a darn thing. He was just moving so silently. And you know the way a hurdler will like reach and touch his, almost like it looks like he's touched his toes with one leg. I saw a Sasquatch go through a little small area, and he reached down, or his feet came up and went right up, and he did like a tuck motion where he was like, looked like he was touching his toes to squeeze through this little spot. So he jumped high in the air and he squeezed through this little spot and hit the ground beautifully. And I kind of heard that landing, like it was really. The thing is, when a moose or a deer or when something big comes running through the bush, you hear it. Like, well, moose, they're like thunder, right? They'll just smash everything. And a bear, you know, they can make a decent amount of noise when they charge. You know, that you feel the ground shaking a bit. But a Sasquatch can make that noise too, but they cannot. They can also be silent, and that's why it was kind of nightmarish to see that. You know, one of the one of the scariest things I've ever seen in the wilderness was I watched a mountain lion blasting through the wilderness. And I saw him running, and there was a small herd of deer, maybe four deer, and deer, man, they hear perfectly, and they actually had their nose into the wind, and their ears were pointed back in the direction the mountain lion is, so they could smell what's in front of them and hear what's behind them. And this mountain lion ran through dense bush. I mean, as dense as I get really in the Alberta region, and made no sound. I was watching it with my eyes going, I can't hear a damn thing, and neither could the deer. And when he went running through there, and he did this big jump off a bit of a ledge and landed on the back of the deer and just killed it. Like, just the deer just was eating, and he popped his head up for a second. That mountain lion hit him and just bit the back of his spine, and the deer just went black and met God. And that's what I tell people: when a mountain lion attacks, that's what you can expect, right? So, yeah, it's the wilderness is, wow, wild is, there's just no sympathy for things out there. It's really scary. So, okay, hey Todd, excited to hear this. Ashley, another live stream. Yeah, thanks for tuning in again, Ashley. That's a lady from Washington State. No ghouls, spirits, goblins. Spirits are very different. Yeah, I agree. I'm really I try to keep it very science based, guys. One of my memoirs was on a Pepu Doody video. I don't know what that says. Too bad it wasn't one of the memes about you, Bigfoot. Proves my point. My weird name memes are effective. Oh, that's good. Thanks, Cameron. Cameron, is that Cameron that runs the Discovering Bigfoot Facebook page? Yes, it is. Cameron, that is definitely you. Oh, and Cameron's a mediator on here. That's good. Yeah. So, more questions here. Um, hey, Todd. Hey, would you ever? Sorry, my screen is blinking like it's all messed up, so I'm having trouble reading. Uh, who are the Sasquatcher on Vancouver Island? Does anybody know? Who are the Sasquatchers of the? Well, so that's from a girl who calls herself Island Girl. There's lots of people. I find, Vancouver Island. Like, I'm probably going there sometime soon, maybe even the next few weeks. There's lots of people that are doing stuff on Vancouver Island. John Bitternagel, my mentor and wonderful, wonderful gentleman friend, lived in Comox Island. Vancouver Island has Sasquatch on it. No, I mean, no doubt about it. It's one of the richest. It is the biologically richest area on the planet to live on, and that's, you think the Amazon, you think somewhere in Africa? Hell no. And trust me, this is the John Bitternagel. wildlife biologist, PhD, knows it, and it's true. On Vancouver Island, it has that perfect biodiversity where you have it's not too cold, but it's not too warm. Tons of moisture. You get that ocean air, fish, shellfish, coastal food, and then tons of berries. And then what grows there? Apples, pears, nectarines, grapes, potatoes, carrots. All these things grow there. When you go to some place like someplace hot, like in, let's say, along the coast of Mexico, they can't grow potatoes or lettuce or carrots or apples. They grow like lemons and limes and pineapples and maybe avocado, like weird things. And the biodiversity is perfect on Vancouver Island. So that's why John Benedigo went there and moved there, because of Sasquatch. And they get salmon runs there, and salmon runs, guys, if you knew about salmon runs, the amount of abundance that creates, and knowing that the Sasquatch, well, in a particular area that I was in, the Sasquatch take the salmon, because salmon runs are only maybe 2 months out of the year. You get this obscene amount of salmon, and don't quote me on that. It might be more, but anyways, there's not salmon running all year. You get times of no salmon runs, and the Sasquatch take the salmon up to altitude at one area and put the salmon in the permafrost. Like, is that crazy? That's how smart they are. So I get main camera here doing some research in Pegas, Manitoba, Canada. Todd, send me a message if you're able to. Well, you know what? It's Mayn, so Mayan Cameron. Go to bigfootencounter@gmail.com, or go to my website and contact us through there, because I'd love to help out as much as I can. You mispronounced my sentences. Sorry, Cameron. My screen is like flashing, going blah, 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 blah. Like this whole program is just like crashing on my phone here. I have to actually have my finger on the phone at all times here, and if I take my finger off, it just flutters off. It's even with my finger on, it's just a mess. But anyways, I'm very grateful for the show. Hey Todd, have you seen the video from Northern Ontario of the strange howls coming from the woods? If we're talking about the same one, yes. And what do I have to say about that? Wow, wow. I think it's real. What gets me with Sasquatch calls is obviously it's very primate like, unlike any animal, but it's the volume, guys. That's what gets you. When in an episode of Survivor Man where we got a huge call made back to us, it wasn't. I mean, what happened was Survivor Man called out. If you saw the episode, he made a sound whoop. It was a beautiful sound, very passionate, and that call was duplicated back like a man could do. But what a man couldn't do is produce that volume. It was exactly like Survivor Man, but it was like 5 times louder, without exaggerating, 5 times louder. Survivor Man is a professional singer. He's an incredible artist. When I say professional singer, he's trained. He can sing. He's a singer. Singers are professionally trained. They talk from the diaphragm. They can make sounds better and control their. I can't make sounds like Survivor Man can. He's an incredible artist, a beautiful singer. So to hear his sound back to us is impressive, but to hear it back to us at his vocal range with 5 times the volume, there's nobody have a. You could, I suppose that someone could argue, well, there's somebody out there with a megaphone. Get the hell out of here! Come on, be stupid. Nobody's out there with a freaking megaphone recording Survivor and then playing it back on a megaphone. And a megaphone has a sound to it. It's not crystal clear. This was like loud and clear, and there was a feeling to it that was profound. And I tell you, I've been hearing a lot of Sasquatch sounds. I have a couple Sasquatch sounds that I recorded that I have to go through my footage of this year, and it's the volume, guys. And you feel something. I don't know. It's just the volume when you realize, like you look over and you go, wow, that thing is like miles and miles away. And I have a colleague go a mile away and they yell and I could barely hear them. And the Sasquatch that was making that sound, I'm not going to pull any bones. It was a Sasquatch. The Sasquatch that made that sound is 10 times further away, and I heard it louder than I heard yours at 1/10 the distance. It's just math, guys. It's a Sasquatch. So yeah, these Sasquatch sounds. I've heard quite a few of them now, and I'm pretty impressed with them. Very impressed with them, I have to say. That's what's happening before cameras. The cameras are crap. You can't. These cameras, people look, their cameras on your phone. Dummy, you have to get within 20 yards of a Sasquatch. Good luck with that. That's ridiculous. Before you get good footage with a stupid camera. Nobody's walking around with like cameras that zoom anymore. In fact, zoom cameras are frequent, I would say, because why would you need a camera? Everybody's like, I don't need a camera. I got my phone. So cameras with zoom potential are not being used so much, right? So yeah, that's kind of the way things have gone backwards a little bit. Is we've lost the zoom, and we're not going to get zoom on these cameras for a long, long time. They're increasing pixelization, which is not anything to do with zoom, guys. Zoom is huge. I have my camera that I use to film video 8 has 50 times optical zoom. 50 times. That's crazy. So literally I saw a Sasquatch at, maybe 200 yards. I saw a dark speck. I saw a light speck turn to a dark speck, and I zoomed in 50 times optical, which was better than binoculars. And there was a Sasquatch that I got footage of, and it's in the movie. So, Todd, I listened to an encounter on Sasquatch Chronicles, and the lady said that her sighting looked like Jake in your movie. And you know what? I've been getting that for years, Daniel. Years and years. Right from the very beginning, with video 2. That's the Sasquatch I saw. I hear that every day. So the haters don't want to talk about it. But oh my God, I hear even Forbes magazine just put one of my photographs up in Forbes magazine talking about this other Bigfoot show. But yeah, it's been going on. People, I can't tell you how often it's. You know what? Honestly, daily. I get daily. I get emails from people every day. Multiple emails from Facebook and my different places. I get emails like crazy. And if I get 3 4 emails a day, it depends on how much exposure I'm getting or how much I'm in the news. But let's say, because there are days I'll average like 200 300 emails when I'm in the news and stuff, right? And there are days where I'll get 1 or 2 emails, but on average, let's say I get 5 emails a day. Very conservative. At least just under 50% of them are going to say, hey, I saw a Sasquatch just like yours. It happens so much. It's a big cliche to me. It's second only to why didn't you put cameras out for when they were taking the apples? Holy crap, how many times do I have to explain that? So I don't want I bet you half the people out here are like, I didn't know the answer to that one. I've talked about it 20 times. I feel like Jeff Meldrum, every time he does a radio show or every time he does a TV show, even I asked him this once, so what got you what was your first sighting with Sasquatch? He just rolls his eyes and goes, really? Like, oh my God, we get asked that question 1,000 times. And anyways, I just want to move on to the next one because there's so much more. Todd in Winter, does the diet for a Sasquatch, do the Sasquatch become more carnivorous when they're limited fruits and berries? And Sammy Chicken, absolutely. That's my theory. I'm not, and it's a strong theory, and I strongly believe it. But my God, these Sasquatch have proven me wrong so many times. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And but that's got to be my theory. Is in the wintertime they kill elk and deer and maybe moose and whatever, bighorn sheep. The list goes on, right, for whatever meat sources. Maybe they eat rabbits. I don't know. I'm sure they like to switch it up, but they got to be eating meat in the wintertime. How much could they possibly store? You know, even the fact of the amount of work it takes to eat berries, to put them and store them, I just don't see it. I just don't see it, not at all. And are they eating pine needles? I don't know. Like because the natives did that to battle scurvy. They boiled pine needles and ate pine needle tea, right? So there's so many questions with that, but just obviously, it's, I mean, what survives in the wintertime? Bears that are even like a grizzly bear, for example, they're primarily plant eaters, herbivores. I mean, they're 40% carnivorous. Anyways, they have to hibernate because there's a major source of food for them is gone, and I don't. They need to hibernate, so there's a good reason that happens. It's not by coincidence, and there's other reasons too, but it's important. So, what do you think about the new Bigfoot show coming on a Travel Channel next month? Um, I'm biting my tongue. That's gosh, I just be honest? The producer that I was working with is suing them. There was a production company I was working with, and they took my ideas and made it into a TV expedition. Bigfoot. Who's been doing Bigfoot expedition? How many people do I take out on expedition? Four. How many do they take out? Four. They got a primatologist. They got everything the way the plan was, and yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I don't know. It's a little bit of a sting, because My show was like Jeff Meldrum, Ian Redmond, Survivor Man, and me. I mean, can you imagine? That's like a goddamn dream team, right? And no disrespect to anybody, but they dick around and do stuff and take my ideas and watch my stuff, and then the good news is though, go ahead and try to steal my ideas. You don't have a goddamn clue what you see and what's going on behind the scenes. I'm 10 times ahead of that. So, and then if they stole my ideas and then they went and had some success, that would make me happy anyways, you know? So I don't know. There's a lot, I have a lot of feelings about it, but anyways, whatever. Let it go. So I hope my biggest hope is they're making some bold claims. I hope they're not full of crap again. I hope they're not just because getting real footage is so freaking hard, and doing it the way a TV show, like basically if I was on a TV show, we'd do the little dance and do the jig and give them the footage they want, and then I'd go really get it done. Like really, the TV show would be just let me go do my thing. Let me go out with me or maybe one person, and I'll go get the footage that you want, and then you can analyze it and see where I shot it and talk about what happened for it and do the backstory on it. But you need to let me go do my thing. I can't go out there with a bloody camera crew. It's preposterous and stupid. You're not gonna go out there with a freaking camera crew and a sound guy and film a Sasquatch. It's dumber, and that's what they expect, and it's stupid. So that's what happens when you go deal with people that are, you know, born and raised on cement. They go, well, they do it with gorillas. Gorillas, a whole gorillas. They spent 8 years habituating those gorillas, for 8 freaking years before they got that success with gorillas. Like, shut up. Holy, and gorillas are not hunters. Gorillas are not bipeds. Gorillas don't do winter. Like you're dealing with a totally different species here. Although there are significant similarities, very different species. And have I done 8 years straight? No, not even close. I've done more than 8 years. What I two so I've been more than 8 years at the radium research site, but it's not straight like primatologists do. They're out there consistently, and like what Diane Fossey did. She lived out there, for God's sake. The amount of don't undermine what someone like Diane Fossey and Jane Goodall did. Do you know the time? Like they spent a decade of their life out there devoted to this and busting their ass and fighting with the weather and the bugs and the haters and the crap. Diane Fossey was killed by the people she was fighting against. You understand she was murdered by the people that were killing gorillas? Murdered. She died for gorillas. Like, back a decade ago or so, maybe more than that, they was like Diane Fossey died. If you talk to the people that know Diane Fossey, like Ian Redmond, that knew her, she did not die. She was murdered for her cause. So you gotta those incredible women put everything on the line for this discovery. Like my God, what Jane Goodall went through and what she's still doing. What a hero. Like what an incredible hero. That who's gonna replace her when she's gone? Who's replaced, Diane Fossey? I don't know. Is there somebody? They're working on it, I guess. Who's gonna replace Jane Goodall? She's a one of a kind. There's you can't replace her. You just can't. I don't know. So yeah, I know what those women went through. I understand the pain, the suffering, the devotion, and number. But you gotta say too, they had the Leakey Foundation, right? They were funded. I know it was hard. I'm not undermining them. I'm not funded. So you know who funds me? You guys fund me with donations, with expeditions, watching the videos, letting the commercials play, and I am pretty much a full-time Sasquatch researcher. So thanks to you guys. So deep heartfelt gratitude for that. But it's all about money. If I had money, if somebody gave me $1 million next week, this discovery would be done. It really is. So it sucks and it's frustrating, but we can get it done. Just the funding, and everything. But that's why I'm here, and I need help, and we're moving forward, right? So here's Anthony Gomez, and I can pronounce that. Awesome. Someday everyone will know that footy is out there, and blinking screen, hard to read. Sorry. You have to say I told everyone so. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. I'm never gonna do that. I don't really do the I told you so thing. It's not. There's Amanda's talking about where you email me if you've had an encounter, you have information, bigfootencounter@gmail.com, or go to discoveringbigfoot.org is my website. I hardly ever say that. It's discoveringbigfoot.org. So Yeah. Thanks, guys, for being all these nice comments. Hey, Todd. Um, do you know they have anything to do with orbs? Yeah, I've heard about orbs and stuff, and even on expedition, and don't know anything about orbs. So, but they are very intelligent beings and stuff, and I don't like to. Just orbs are kind of weird stuff, and so I have personally never seen an orb. I think so. I'm 95% sure I saw some strange stuff once, but anyways, what do you feel about the stories by military back in 1981 down around the mountain St. Helens? Oh, Jason Whitty. Wow, do I have stuff to say about that. I'm frozen here, but I think the audio is still going. But I don't want to get into that stuff today. I really, I have some incredible information about the Mount St. Helens military stuff that it's third party stuff and people I trust. A colleague and mentor of mine went out there and talked to people and interviewed people and saw evidence. So there was tremendous significance to do with Sasquatch and the Mount St. Helens eruption. Tremendous, tremendous stuff. But I don't have the paperwork in front of me, and yeah. So, brown dwarf Sasquatch Island about Vancouver Island. Yes, you probably are. So some of those calls are very freaky. Yeah, I don't think they're freaky. I think they're amazing. It's exciting to me. If I was there, oh man, when I'm there for the calls, oh my god, it's so exciting to me. I smile. It just makes me excited and to know they're out there making those calls. I don't. It's amazing. So Daniel Andre says Lestrade 500 episode Sasquatch Chronicles said he telepathically heard two Sasquatch tell him he wants to meet them and must stay the night. And you know what? Right? So people that come out here, I'll tell you this. There are multiple people that are coming out and having the same damn dreams in my research area. I've been documenting that now. People are having the same dream. I have it written down on a piece of paper, and another expeditioner comes out and wakes up and says the same thing and has a dream. And I go, "So you just said this and this and this?" He goes, "Yeah." And I pull out a piece of paper. I go, "I haven't, you just told me this right now." "Yes." "Look at this piece of paper." And he goes, "That's exactly the dream I had." "Yes, it is." So is that a coincidence? I'll let you figure that stuff out for yourself. I'm telling you a fact. I've had four expeditioners have the same dream, even six expeditioners think about the same thing in a dream. And even I'll tell you this one thing really quick. One of the primary things I've seen many expeditioners do is they wake up crying for Todd. Todd, Todd, Todd. They're thinking about me and they need help from me and they're calling for help from me. And the dream goes deeper than that, but that's where it starts. And you might think, well, wouldn't people just think that? No, it's not like that. It's deeper than that. But that's where it starts. And I'm talking like grown men, like tough guys going, "Todd, help me." And they're paralyzed. "Todd, Todd." And they're but then when you talk to them, what were you asking for? What was going on? And they talk about the same things. And it goes deeper than that. But so, these are facts. I don't like talking about, hocus pocus and dream stuff but I don't mind talking facts. These are absolute facts. This is undeniable truth that's happening. And go watch Third Eye Blind, So for God's sake, I have an ESP trainer, extrasensory perception trainer, that's from a PhD who worked with the CIA successfully from Princeton. I have a free ESP trainer on my phone, and I've been working with it, and my ESP abilities have been increased. What do you say to that? Extrasensory perception. So, you ever been in? Even I'll tell you this is what I say to everybody, every expedition, every person I take out in the bush. You ever been sitting somewhere? Let's just talk about this for a second, just a quick second. You've been sitting there, and suddenly you go and you look, and there's somebody that was watching you. And everybody I talked to, I've a person who didn't say, "Yeah, I've had that happen." How the hell did you know that? How did you how did you stereoscopically know not just that somebody was watching you, but you knew exactly where to look? They were over there. How'd you know that? And they go, "Well, I don't know." Dude, it's extrasensory perception. If you can do that, you have that ability. But remember, we're automatons living on cement and have wilderness and all our abilities bred out of us and beaten out of us, you know? So when you go out there and you work on that ability and it gets better and better, there's stuff that I've been doing that's expeditioners and people have witnessed. It's like, how the hell do you know there was a mountain lion over there? How'd you hell know there was a bear over there? I could feel bear energy. I could feel mountain lion energy. And it's not a coincidence. So, D Slade, what's my favorite experience with Sasquatch? Oh, I don't have one. I just, lots. And I talk about them all the time. Let me think of something new. What's something I haven't talked about in a while? What's an experience with Sasquatch? Hmm. My brain's not working good. It's probably better I just let the inspiration pop up. I know Thinker Thunker did a few episodes on sounds that were recorded that no human or known animal could do. And that's be careful with that, Jason. You know, Thinker Thunker isn't all that in a bag of chips either. Right? He makes mistakes, trust me. He did some stuff on me that was fraudulent and fake. So, that was his opinion. He's got his opinions. He might be right about some things, but I've seen him deceive people, especially when it came before he froze up. I was talking about Thinker Thunker and that he had done some stuff. But you know what bothers me though, and what I'll tell you Thinker Thunker did that's not arguable, is he took my footage without my permission and he aired it. And then if this is what an investigating officer has told me, a professional investigating officer from the United States Homeland Security, like a highly ranked investigator. If you a piece of evidence and an eyewitness to go with that evidence, and you're investigating that, and you don't talk to the eyewitness, you're incompetent. So Thinker Thunker took evidence from me, and I was there. That evidence substantiates what I witnessed, and I was there to explain. I am third time's a charm, as I was saying. So this is a fact. Thinker Thunker took evidence from me, took my footage that I've risked my life and damaged myself and all the crap that I've gone through to get that footage. He basically, I would say, stole it from me and used it without permission. And then in his investigation, he didn't talk to the primary witness. That is incompetent. Completely and utterly incompetent. His investigation was incompetent. He never tried to contact me. He never made any effort and he never asked permission for my footage. So he's a thief and he's incompetent. So no arguing that. I mean, if you think you're not incompetent, when you have access to the primary witness of a piece of evidence and you don't even try to talk to them, he didn't even try to talk to me. No emails were sent to me, no permission for my footage, and he didn't even attempt to contact me or talk to me. The only witness, the man who was there holding the camera, he is incompetent by definition. And I will call him on that. So congratulations, Thinker Thunker. You stole my footage, did an incompetent investigation. And I think he looks like an idiot too, because some of the stupid stuff he said was stupid because he didn't even talk to me. I would have told him, hey, don't say that. You sound stupid because this is why. Because you're saying dumb stuff, and I'll explain to you why you don't want to come off stupid. But he came off stupid. He said stupid stuff. And I know what I'm talking about. And I was there. I was there. I filmed it, right? So, a little bit incompetent. Somebody named FNAF Gaming asked me why don't I use, or what would happen if I use drones. Well, drones are pretty loud. I want to use drones. I want to use blimp drones. But the dream is to put some blimp drones up in the air, have them fly around at heights that the Sasquatch won't notice with thermal cameras on them. And if I had those drones would cost me about right now $250,000 to run I think it was, yeah, just two of them. And I know I'd crash one. I know I'd have all kinds of problems. Or in the field, you have tons of difficulty. But if I had thermal drones following the Sasquatch, this discovery would be finished. It would be over. We would prove Sasquatch exists. So to FNAF Gaming, the discovery would be finished. We'd watch them hunting elk and foraging, and we'd follow them. And I'd know how many are in a group, and I'd have each individual's cataloged and sized and their DNA. It would be incredible. It would be mind blowing. And the Sasquatch in my terrain where it's mostly Rocky Mountain Douglas firs, 90% of the plants, you can't hide your heat signature by them because they're fir trees and they're built at angles. You can't hide. So there's nowhere to hide. I'd follow you everywhere. If you go into a cave, you're gonna have to come out of your cave. So I would follow the Sasquatch day and night. I would number them, I would watch them, and this discovery would go right through the roof. And they would have no problem they're not going to avoid these blimp drones that we had planned. So it's part of the money. It scares me, and it's money. This new travel and escape show. Those dumbasses are spending millions of dollars to make some bullshit happen. If they would have given me that money, I'd finish this discovery, even one blimp drone. Let's do it for $125,000. I'll follow them half the time. We'll get this thing done because believe me, when you saw Survivor Man, those 4 episodes, when you saw the Discovering Bigfoot show, Sasquatch were around us. If the Sasquatch come around us, the blimp drone picks up the heat signature and follows it. The discovery becomes done, right? How many individuals? Where are the tracks? How big are they? Where's the scat? He just pooped. Go get it. You know what I mean? Get the DNA. What kind of, is that? And then we'd know mother, sister, cousin, brother. We'd know every relation, every size based on the track and the weight of the track. And we'd know female, male. We'd know everything. Is that crazy? So, yeah, drones would be unreal amazing. So, and there'll be a day when, maybe in 50 years where there's drones the size of mosquitoes that have, 8K cameras flying around, projecting signals. The Sasquatch are done at that point. Like technology's gonna beat them eventually, I think, right? When you have a mosquito drone that flies on solar power and has infinite energy and films in 8K and can zoom 50 times optical, I mean, that stuff's gonna happen eventually. That technology is gonna come. So this discovery is going to come. And that's why we talk about vindication. I don't care about vindication. I just want the discovery done. I want children to read about this in books. I want, even most importantly, this discovery will change the human race dramatically. It'll make everything better. It'll take us back to the wilderness. It'll take us back to nature. And nature is such a beautiful, wonderful thing. And most people the vast majority of people don't know anything about nature. They're unconnected to it. They eat their stuff from wrappers and don't care where it came from. And they have no connectivity to nature. And that's very, very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. And, maybe some people are good that way. Maybe some people will live that way. But a lot of people would be much happier. And I don't know. Nature is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, Steve says, Jason Whitney, that's what happened during my first encounter. I was paralyzed with fear. You think you guys are talking about infrasound. So my brain hurts too much to talk about infrasound right now. When are you going to start using trail cameras? I use trail cameras. We talked about that today already. I use them like crazy. And actually, I have some footage on a trail camera now. It's not great, but I got something anyways. So Dad Gaming, Todd doesn't like trail cams. Well, it's not that I don't like them. It's that the Sasquatch can see them. You can't. You guys understand that they're trackers, right? A bent blade of grass is evidence to a tracker. You put a trail cam in the ground, he's gonna watch you put the trail cam in the ground. If he doesn't watch you put the trail cam in the ground, he's gonna see your tracks walking over to dig a hole for the trail ground, put it in the trail. There's no way you can hide them. They're glass. There's a little piece of glass on the lens, a little bit of. You think, oh, they're all camouflaged. They are not. A Sasquatch is gonna see that at 100 yards. If you ever saw how a Sasquatch will approach an area, I've seen it 100 times. Like a bear will do this. A bear will see a kill and he'll circle around and he'll sit down and look and he'll circle again and smell because something killed that. And maybe it was a big grizzly bear and he'll get killed. So he's not going to get killed to go eat something, right? Or the wolves are there, or the mountain lions or something, right? So bears are cautious like that. And the Sasquatch do the same thing. Hell, I've seen Sasquatch come into a spot, circle around, come in closer, circle again, and come in and do another circle before they get in. And they have the visual acuity and tracking ability that no bear has and no wolf could, you know what I mean? Well, bears and wolves have the sense of smell, which is incredible and amazing, right? So, but anyways, it's that's the reality. It's the theory and the buck that people do because they think they know it all. Buck. I'll tell you though, it's really I might sound like I'm being a jerk because I kind of am. You really you sound silly. And to somebody who knows, I've been out there, I'm boots on the ground, guys. I've tested the equipment, I've used it, I've tried it. I put out a trail cam and they don't take goddamn apples. I've spent 150 days of lost apples being taken because I put out a damn trail cam. And I take the trail cam away and they take the damn apples the next day. So these are the facts. You figure it out. Do I want them taking apples? Do I want the discovery process moving forward? Yes. If I put up the damn trail cams, they stay away from me, they don't come near. That's a fact. So you can deduce everything else that you'd like from that. So, hi Todd, keep it up. This is Minur from Lake Arrowhead. Wow. So you're from Lake Arrowhead. I know Lake Arrowhead. What are you doing in Lake Arrowhead? Lake Arrowhead is over by Revelstoke, and it's south of Revelstoke. I am very so it's minor. I'm so bad at stuff. I apologize. Here's me looking like a twit. Last name is Rodriguez. Please send me an email if you got something going on at bigfootencounter@gmail.com, because I'd love Lake Arrowhead. I'd love to have something going on. You're close to, you're like the opposite. Like Radium is one way, and then Lake Arrowhead's the other. And I'm very interested in that area. I wanted to go spend time there, but I just can't. I don't have it. So Amanda says it's Cephisaurus is her silly little online name. Brandon Holm, I'd rather you didn't share your email. Yeah, yeah, don't share your email here. Just send us an email. Boy, Amanda, you're so smart. I wouldn't have thought of that. So yeah, if you Mason and Sylvanic SGR, yeah, you guys just talk through Amanda. You don't want to. I don't know if you want to do it, take a risk. That's cool. But you guys, Amanda is organized. She is always on top of things. She's available. You guys can hook up through her, and I would really appreciate you guys cooperating. That would make me super happy. I've put lots of people together, lots of great men and women together, and even this week I've been teaming up people in Georgia, right? But because I want this discovery to move forward. If there's Sasquatch in Georgia, man, I'm sending people out there. So, and my expeditioners now, my goodness, I have expeditioners from Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Colorado, Maine, Washington, Oregon, California. Like I have people that have, when you're an expeditioner and you've been out with me, we've bled together. Like we've had our metal tested. There's no 7 day expedition I've been on with somebody that we haven't had a bear charge at us, a Sasquatch come around, somebody blow a get injured, fall down the mountain, blood, sweat, tears. We know who we are. Like the people that I've been out with, when you come out with me, when you go bleed with Survivor Man, Les Stroud and Todd Standing, we know things about each other. And there are things about Les Stroud that you will never tell me otherwise because I've been out boots on the ground with the man bleeding and suffering and the rain and the pain of these expeditions. Our metal has been tested. I know that man, and I know Jeff Meldrum. Jeff Meldrum, even it was just a simple 3 days with me. And John Bitternagel, I knew John, but John Bitternagel spent probably 20 days out in the back country with me, sleeping on the ground and fighting for this discovery. So people will tell me again, "Bark, bark, 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 John Bitternagel is John Bitternagel." Horse manure. I bled with that man. John Bitternagel was like, what was he, 70 years old, hiking backcountry with me? I don't make him like that anymore. Anyway, I was just talking about John Bitternagel. What a wonderful, incredible, amazing. I've I've never met somebody like him before, and I don't think I ever will again. What an incredible quality, tough human being, honest and good and righteous and amazing. If I ever really got far ahead, I'd make it. I have enough footage on John to make a documentary about him. Just a tribute to wow. If more people were like him, if 25% of the people in the world were like John Bitternagel, this would be just the most magnificent, beautiful place ever. A man who wouldn't lie, a man who was just integrity, top to bottom, gentle, caring. He truly cared about his fellow man. I wish I could be more like him. So I feel life has kicked my ass and beat me down so brutally, and I've suffered through so much crap that I'm bitter. So, but then you know what? You got to be brave, and you got to be able to shake the system up, and that's the difference between John and I. Is initially he was very much against the something like the petition for species protection. He would have been against that, and when I was going to court in the beginning, he was very much against it. Like, Todd, you can't go to court. You can't do this. You need to get a good lawyer. You need to wait for this. I said, hell with it. I'm going forward. I'm jumping off a cliff and building wings on the way down. And that's done a lot of damage to me in my life, but I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't do stuff like that. And I'll tell you, long before the end, John Bitternagel agreed to testify in my court case. When I explained to him why, and why I'm even pissed off that Fish and Wildlife aren't doing their bloody job, and when I explained it to him at the end of it, he did a little, bumped his head gently on the table and said, "Gosh darn it, you're right, and we're gonna go do it. And I want to shake some things up." I'd say kick some ass. I'd say smash down some doors and shove it down people's throats. He would say, "We're gonna go shake the tree a little and see what falls." Actually, that's not his voice. I apologize for making a voice like that, but just a wonderful, gentle man. So, and there's SoCal Forest Ninjas. Wah, yeah, wah. Forest Ninja. Love you guys. And here he's saying what I've said it before and I'll say it again. When I hear truth from people, I expect that they're talking truth because they're doing real stuff. And SoCal Forest Ninja said, I know firsthand experience, boots on the ground, what I just said. They don't like trail cams. They just stay away from them. And there's so many reasons for it. So many reasons for them to stay away from trail cams. I'm just giving you guys a little tip of the iceberg. I could write a book on why they stay away from trail cams and the ridiculousness of them and why they're so difficult. With that being said, though, Survivor Man got footage from a Sasquatch on a trail cam, right? He got the top of the head of a Sasquatch. And I seem to have got footage now for the first time in my life with a trail cam. So it's not like they're an incompetent, useless tool, but it's with Sasquatch, it's just hard. And I do use them, and I will continue to use them. I'm doing the best I can, but they're not the end all be all like you think they are. Because elk and deer will, as long as you don't get scent on them, and they can, when you really know what you're doing, they can work on elk and deer and bear. But Sasquatch are a whole another level, guys. Honest to God. So just a few more questions here. Another amazing show, thanks to you, amazing people. Todd, you have more answers than questions. I love your passion, knowledge, much respect. Hey, thanks, Roy. I have more answers than we have questions. Well, once in a while, you guys stump me. But you guys have such amazing questions. I always, somebody was asking me about it yesterday. How many shows have you done? I don't know, dozens. Like, what are we at? We'll be approaching 40, 30 shows. I don't know. How can I keep getting questions from you guys and talking? It's different questions, highly intelligent, different questions. You guys are amazing. So, South Carolina is having sightings. That's awesome. JD Knight, go to Bigfoot encounter at gmail.com. I'm never going to pump that out there enough. Me and SoCal were here in CO, founded the SRG Sasquatch Research together. Check out our channels. So do that, please, guys. It's Mason, Witt, Sylvanic, and SRG. So, and you guys, I hope Amanda's on that. Maybe Phil, Danielle, check out their stuff. So I just, guys, I'm so inundated with crap. I just getting by the skin of my teeth right now. The time is just, I don't have anything extra. There's so many things, and yeah, my life is absolute crazy insanity busy right now. Todd, what do you feel about Sasquatch being on the eastern side of Canada? I've heard sightings in Maine. They're in Maine, dude. Oh, Jason. They're over there, dude. I had this incredible sighting from Nova Scotia. This woman who like wrote a paper and gave it to me. So, and Maine? Oh yeah, that's south of Ontario. There's Sasquatch in Ontario. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them in Maine. I haven't seen them in Ontario. They gotta be there though. Just if there's black bears there and an abundance of food. In Maine's such a beautiful, abundant place. So, and I've heard lots of really legitimate kind of sightings and stuff. I hate to be like, yeah, they're there in Maine. Crazy, but yeah, they're there in Maine. I mean, Wyoming has them, Montana has them, Idaho has them, Washington State has it. You're just going right across, right? And these are, I know they're in Maine, 100.0%. I know they're in Montana. I know they're in Idaho. I know they're in Washington. Just keep going across, right? So, and there's such rich abundance as you go to eastern United States, right? So, just, and I really, what convinced me too was there was a snowmobile trackway that was found years and years ago in Maine, and I had a colleague go out there and investigate with it. This guy's a really good tracker, and I asked him like to go get me 10 parameters, and he went out and he came back and every single parameter was met. That had to be a Sasquatch trackway. So, and it was a long Sasquatch trackway, and it was in Maine, and every parameter just fell right into place. So I'm very convinced that trackway is real, and so that's real evidence to substantiate that they're in Maine. I'm planning. So Ryan says I'm planning to get up on the BC and Alaska soon, anyway. But I'd love to join your research. Yeah, just go to discoveringbigfoot.org. Gosh, I have no trouble filling up my expeditions, guys. It's just a matter of who I'm going to take out. So, and next year, it's just a big deal. So, I need to keep growing. I need to keep moving forward. Yeah. So I'm excited about next year. I'm already half booked for next year, guys. I haven't done anything. I haven't checked my emails. I haven't been talking to people. Just based on people who want to come back. I'm booked, and I mean booked. Like these people have paid and it's done and they're coming. So, and I haven't even, I'm half booked and I haven't even looked at all my, I haven't even called all my expeditioners. There are other expeditioners. I've only half the I'm half booked and only half the expeditioners have called back and made their, desires known. So I'd say I have a good, I want to be conservative. About 85% of the people I take out on expedition want to come back. So it's pretty high. It's pretty impressive. And so whatever I'm doing, my point with that is whatever I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing it because I do interview people, I do talk to people, and I would say even in fact, my numbers are going to climb to like 90, 95%. I really know the people that I want, but I would suggest if you're trying to get on with expedition, be honest. That's the number one thing I look for. I just want people that are honest. It doesn't matter if you think Sasquatch are real or not. You're not going to affect me. And so, anyways, it's just those things are going really well. So, and that's Amanda talking about there's a link to my expeditions page. And let's do some more. Hey, Cameron, how many miles do expeditions tend to travel with you? Expeditioners, that's a good question, Cameron. What we do is it's not really about miles because going up altitude is hard. So, I mean, in a day we could do, we could do miles, 15 miles if the ground's flat ish. And but it's so all over the place. We have electric bikes now. Sometimes I'll drive out to a spot. I'll drive 20 miles, and then we'll walk 20 miles. Sometimes I'll get on. We have electric fat mountain bikes now, and we're going backcountry. We always take the electric bikes as far as we can, drop them there, and it's remote. Nobody's gonna steal the bikes. That's the first thing city people. What are you people gonna steal them? No, we go hella middle of nowhere backcountry. Nobody's gonna steal these electric bikes. They're worth like 10 grand, but they're not gonna get stolen because there's nobody out there. And anyways, so but just boots on the ground, foot wise. And I try not to travel fast, right? So, and it depends who I'm with, right? I go out with the special forces guy, and we're jogging 10 miles, and then we start moving slow after that, right? So, we've probably done, there have been days where I've done 20 miles. So, you know, but it's the terrain. So I'll do 20 miles in one day and I'll do 5 miles the next, and the 5 miles is harder because we went straight up. Look at Survivor Man. We just went, 3 miles of half straight up, and now we're going straight up. And it's brutal. Like you're literally, if you slip, you're going head over heels down the mountain, right? So even the height of it and it's steep. It's all over the place. So what I'm trying to do now, Cameron, this is very specific. I'm trying to match people of equal ability, equal athletic ability, in expeditions. So I have like four badasses that I want to put up on the mountain where I left Survivor Man. Four men that I've worked with and I have experience with. These are special forces firefighters, U.S. Rangers, tough as nails. Just a martial arts expert, fit as hell, trained beasts. I want to take these dudes and put them in the hell of middle of nowhere, right in the craziest Sasquatch habitat, and come back in a week. You guys are going to survive. Here's what I got for you. I'm backup. If you have a problem, give me a call. I'll be within 5 miles, and they have an emergency device. I just want to leave them up there. I'm excited. At first, I was afraid to do that, but I do it, and I'm the general. I've been up there. Survivor Man did it. These guys are just tough. These guys are my blood brothers. I you know, I just, I left Survivor Man up there, and people want to do that same stuff. And even there's one guy who's going to be number five. He's tough, but he got out of shape. He's a little overweight. And I said, okay, train and get fit. If I can hike you up that mountain in 5 hours, if you can make the 5 hour challenge, you're tough enough, let's do it. And he's getting fit. And I saw pictures of him. He's lost weight. He's fit. His cardio's up. His resting heart rate's down to like 60 beats a minute from 80. He needs to get it down to 45. That means you can't hide. When your resting heart rate is 45 beats a minute, you're a freaking beast. So he's getting it done. He's doing what he needs to. He's got his survival stuff, and he'll be number five. And I hope to get number six, number seven this year. So this cooperation is boots on the ground, growing, and I couldn't be happier with it. These men and women have become like, I've through this Sasquatch stuff, I've met people that are like friends forever. People I'd invite to my wedding, So people talk about the lack of integrity in Sasquatch, and that's true. There are people, there are haters and stuff, but I don't focus on them. I focus on Amanda and this wonderful gentleman Phil and Danielle and all the expeditioners and all these cool people. Break, which wasn't a commercial break, but you know what I mean. So we'll just do a few more questions. I could easily do 50 beats a minute, lol. That's awesome. I'm not there right now. My throat's hurting and I've had a, it's been tough this year. I'm coughing a little bit because I'm sick. It makes sense biologically that a lot of them would choose a habitat that most humans would have a lot of trouble getting to. That's from Steve SK, I'll call him. I wonder though, so it makes sense biologically that a lot of them would choose habitat that most humans would have a lot of trouble getting to. Yeah. Well, when humans come in, bad things happen, right? Like if we go in there, we'll log it. Any place we can log, you know? If trails get in there, if it's scenic, we want to go see it. We want to go have trails out there and so yeah, they're taking up spots that are I've heard a lot about how they're the species biologically that's designed to survive in really harsh environments, but I don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. They see it as beautiful and serene, and and what I've seen too. This question leads to something brilliant too. Is there was a spot in Kananaskis that 100 years ago the Sasquatch lived there, and I'm very convinced of that they were there. They were their home area. I've seen signs of it, but it's gone. They put a highway in there, and the Sasquatch just left. They backed off, you know. So that's not a good feeling. That's not good for me to think that because loss of habitat's loss of life, right? So, but anyways, I don't want to be too negative about it because I just have feelings like the Sasquatch just love that. They love those harsh. It's kind of like, don't you love it when you can when you've trained and you've worked for it and you can do things that other people can't do? You earn it, right? And they've earned it through evolution, and they love that harshness. They love that it's tough. They love that stuff. Trust me, I could see it. They love the dense when they're running through dense bush and they're doing those like I talked about today, the special jumps and movement through, and they're running through the trees. They love doing that stuff. They freaking love it. Moving silently like that. They do it out of love. They're built for it, and I can see it. I can see it in the trackway. I can see it in the way they move. I don't know. It's love, man. They love these environments. They are built for it, and they have evolved that way. But don't tell them that. They're there because they love it, and that's why I'm having trouble saying, yeah, it's harsh and it's brutal, and people can't really survive there, but they can. But they're not there because it's harsh. They're there because they love it, because it's their favorite place. Because if you ask them, they wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Does that make sense? So, questions. This is why you guys get such awesome shows out of me, is because these questions are amazing. In the history of the gorilla, all that has ever been found was nine teeth. Just so you know. Yeah, right. People talk about the fossil record. We know gorillas are real. Where's the fossil record for them? We know chimpanzees are real. Not much of a fossil record on that. Right? So, um, yeah. Steve SKS, what are your thoughts about humans openly giving them? I give them gifts. Um, Openly giving them food though, I don't know. Let's be careful about that stuff, guys, because if you cough, you have a sickness, and you give them a sickness through an apple that you gave them, you're gonna kill them, right? When I go see gorillas at the zoo, they make me put on a mask because my viruses would kill them. I'd wipe out every gorilla they had at the zoo, right? So yeah, stuff. But giving a gift is something that you do to native people. I did it for my teacher, and the Sasquatch consider that a sign of respect, giving them a gift of some kind. So whether it be food or I don't know what else to really give them. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that they've taken of mine. I've tried to give them like little dolls or precious things to me, and I've even seen like the U.S. Ranger I worked with, made some flowers for them in a bundle and then wrapped it with a piece of grass so it was all natural and gave it to them. They didn't take that, or maybe they did. Maybe they didn't take it. Maybe they saw it and appreciated it, and they gave him because then there was a rock put back on there after that, so he took that. So much stuff, just so much stuff. Todd, do you think Bigfoot bury their dead? It says bury their dead. I'm sure he means bury their dead. Have you ever found bones? No, no bones. Do they bury their dead? I think they put their. My theory is they put their dead in caves. If you guys can still hear me, which I see the numbers still going, Matthew Hedrick, I believe Bigfoot is more in tune with God than the devil or demons. Woo! Yeah, it's we don't. I don't do religious stuff at all. Don't do religion. So so silent, so fast. Absolutely. Is that what you call yourself, SoCal Forest Ninja? Because you think the Sasquatch move like ninjas? Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because it's yeah crazy how fast, how quiet they can be. It's totally mind blowing. So do Bigfoot. Asking me if Big Midnight Ninja Gate So Shadow asking me if Bigfoot fart. And it's funny. I like to laugh. So one of my favorite things. I love those messing with Sasquatch. If you haven't seen the messing with Sasquatch, they're hilarious. I love comedy. I love to laugh. That's the best success I ever get. Is when I'm making people laugh. When people are having fun and laughing, then the Sasquatch come around. And when we're all tense and not having a good time, and somebody tells me a sad story, I had a gentleman who's just the most wonderful human being come out with me. Um, we were having great success with Sasquatch. Then we found out by the fire one night that his little boy had passed away from cancer, and we were all just like, shocked and stunned. And he had a wonderful son, and his son died of cancer. And he told it to us, and he, heartfelt and beautiful, and what a hero he is for having gone through that. I don't think I could make it through something like that if my little boy got cancer. But anyways, he told that story, and man, Sasquatch stopped coming around. No more Sasquatch activity. And it's not like he was being angry or hateful. It was painful. We were all in sorrow. And literally, the nights before that, they were coming around, and it was getting better. And he told us that story. And it was like, done. 3 days of no activity. So, and there have been a few other examples of that where just things get tense, things get unhappy, and they don't come around. And then, I'm laughing and joking, telling people jokes. I tell Jeff Meldrum a joke. I told Jeff Meldrum what happened to the native that drank 1,000 pots of tea. And then Jeff goes, what happened? This is Jeff Meldrum. And I go, well, he drowned in his teepee. And Jeff goes, ho, ho, ho. He thought it was a funny joke. And then boom, the Sasquatch came out. Right? I'd been telling him jokes for half an hour. But I literally have that audio recorded of me telling him that joke. He started laughing. And then the Sasquatch made a sound. And I was like, the Sasquatch are here. He's like, is that a Sasquatch? I went, yep, that's a Sasquatch. They're here. And I smiled knowing that we were going to have really great success because we were so happy. Because everything was going so well. Because we were in a joyous state. They're going to come around more now. And if you watch that with Survivor Man, you'll see that I'm smiling and the Sasquatch are there, and I'm looking at Les. I'm looking at he goes like Leslie goes like, oh my God, do you hear that? And I go, yeah, that's it, because I'm excited and I'm happy, and they know it. And you might think I'm some kind of crazy guy, but that's how I roll. Well, you have to understand too. I've spent thousands of hours to make this moment happen. Do you know what I went through? How much time, how many expeditions, how much blood, how much suffering, how many times I failed before I could be ready to take out Les Stroud's Survivor Man to an area and have him interact with the Sasquatch within days. I bled for that. So I'm smiling like that because I know what I've been through. I know what my family's been through. I know the suffering and the pain and the agony to get there. I know what it took. You might just be thinking, oh, this is amazing. Look, he went out. Right? It reminds me of you see these bands or these people become successful, and you see a reporter go, or this actor, and you see this reporter go, what does it feel like to be an overnight success? And they go, it's wonderful. And I can see in their eyes, they're no overnight success. They spent years busting their ass, fighting for it, building it up to get where they are, whether they're perfecting their craft as an actor, learning how to play a musical instrument, and all the crap and all the hatred and all the junk that they went through. Right? And it's like that, guys. It's so much like that. My bones ache. I've taken years off of my life, busting my ass, destroying my lungs, blowing my knees, falling off cliffs, damaging my hips, bleeding, nearly dying so many times. I've laid down to die and quit. Can't do this anymore. Frozen to death. Can't make it. Dead. Right? I've done that multiple times. You just give up, and somehow you find the energy and you won't quit, and you keep moving forward. And anyway, that's the reality of that joy. Why is he so crazy? Why is he so happy? Well, because it was so much to get here. And I'm so happy, because I'm so proud of the Sasquatch for coming out there, because they didn't have to do that. The Sasquatch could have snubbed me, and everything you've seen me have success on TV, it's because the Sasquatch chose to come around. They chose to come around because of what I did, because it wasn't me versus them. It's not man versus wild. What the hell? It's me going into the wilderness and loving it and appreciating it and loving the Sasquatch and admiring them and respecting them immensely, giving them what they asked for, being a student of theirs. That's why I had all that success. That's it. That's the secret, right? So that's what I'll continue to do. That's what's brought me success. Don't verse them, guys. Don't hunt them. Don't verse them. You will lose. It will be a mess. Okay, Sammy Chicken. Todd, Sasquatch are extremely powerful voices. Do you think they have more than one voice? Well, if you're asking, can they make different sounds? Well, hell yeah. Do you understand the Survivor Man? So what happened in that episode? It's the first season of Nordegg. He's going whoop, and I'm like, Les, that was weak. And I'm not. You might think I'm a nice guy. When I'm on expedition, I want what I want, and I'm not nice about it, and I can be a jerk. I can. I can be a total ass. I'm like, that was weak, Les. And he goes again. He goes whoop, and I go, oh my God, Les. You gotta put. He's like, what do you want from me? And I do this. I did this with John Bendernagel. I do this with my important colleagues. People push me, and I push them. I go, that is not it. So he gets up, and I go, this is the end, man. This is you got to put passion into it. I want to feel something. Forget about making a Sasquatch call. Just tell them you're here and that you're an incredible artist, and make a call to them. And he gets it, and he stands on the very edge of, like, we're up at the top. We're high up, as Les Stroud says in the episode. And I see him get that feeling, and I see him do something. He feels it in his heart, and he just gets down and goes, it was beautiful. Echoed, perfect volume, not too loud where your voice is crackling. And he looked at me and he goes, that was it. And I go, yeah, that was it. And I felt it. And we were smiling. And now, but the importance of this, though, is remember, he's a professionally trained singer, and it was completely his call. He did it. It was his thing. It was very original. I'd never heard a call like that before. It was really like, it's beautiful. And the Sasquatch made that identical call back. The same length, the same everything. Just the only thing that was different was the volume. Can they make different sounds? Holy hell. Raven sounds, deer sounds. Deer can make sounds, but could they do elk calls? Probably. You know, the limits to what they're capable of. It's just amazing. It's totally, totally freaking mind-boggling amazing. So that was on that day. That was like the last straw. I've heard them duplicate calls. I've heard them make many different kinds of sounds. When they made Survivor Man's sounds back, a professionally trained, incredible singer that Survivor Man is, when they duplicated his sound back, I realized you just they can do that. You know, that's the level of incredible, amazing, brilliant, wow species these guys are. So you see my reverence for them, right? So okay, guys, Island Girl, is your email on the homepage? Anyhow, I see how you guys are really trying to cooperate and to speak with each other. I think that's awesome. Um, so yeah, do that, guys. I see that Vancouver Island lady was asking about stuff. So let's do a couple more questions. Gina SCH, are you married? New viewer, enthusiast, just wondering what your wife or girl big. Well, just asking about. Someone asked about what my family thinks, and my family's always been my true loving family who knows me. They know what I go through. They know the risks I put into it, and they're tremendously supportive. I've never. I think I have one family member that thinks Bigfoot's not real. You know what I mean? So anybody who knows me and cares about me, and I have old friends I haven't met in years. Really Sasquatch? I go, really Sasquatch. And people that know me, you know, I just, it's the truth. They're there, they're real, so. And if they don't, I mean, like I said, there's one family member that thinks they're not real, and it's all good. So they also, this family member though knows that I bleed the suffering that I go through for this stuff. So it's like that. So yeah, so that'll be enough for today, guys. I always want to do one more. It's rare to hear them getting 10 feet tall, let alone taller. Yeah, those are hard things. Talked about that before, how people, colleagues of mine that I respect, saying they're like 12 feet tall. I'm like, yeesh. So it's pushing my paradigm even. But thanks so much for the show today, guys. Awesome questions as always. And the odds of me coming back next week are very, very high. Because it's winter outside, so say a good 95% chance I'll be back next week, barring some crazy crap. I want to do my show next week. And it's my honor for all the dedication and hard work I put into this, guys. So many people. So, I, Bigfoot Vancouver Island. So Todd, when JB came out to the woods with me, he said you were that dude that really opened up his mind about Sasquatch. Just saying. Oh, well, that's what a nice thing to say. Yeah, thanks. There's been lots of hurtful stuff said after JB passed away, and that's awesome. I know he felt that way, but he, man, what he did for me, I'll get teary eyed. Changed my life, and yeah, I opened up his mind, and he changed my life. So yeah, we just that's why cooperation's so powerful, guys. So powerful. I worked so hard, and I got to work with John Bennernagel, Les Stroud, Survivor Man, you know, so many other great men and women that don't want to be public that I've got to work with, and this journey has been so amazing. So whatever you do, be brave, fight for it. Be a voice for whatever you do, and it makes the world a better place. This discovery makes the world a better place, and I'm deeply honored just to even be a cog in this machine to move forward with this discovery, if that's all I ever got to be. If I just inspired the guy to move the discovery forward, by my documentary, then it was all worth it. It's all worth it no matter what. It's all worth it. So thanks so much for watching the show, guys, and we'll see you next week. And yeah, thanks, and take care. Good night.